We're going to remind people in a very creative way that the under Godness of our Pledge of Allegiance is still real. And I believe that. I believe democracy requires deity. And there's too much freedom in democracy that if we don't have an understanding of God, then the freedom of speech devolves into the freedom of vulgarity. Because I believe in freedom of speech. Say whatever you want to say, but you ought to have an internal governor that lets you know what you shouldn't say. And that comes from your own I-thou relationship.
One thing that we've been serious about is just trying to get our people to have a sense of pride and really not only take the community back, just as far as like cleaning it up and having pride in our community and taking care of each other, but also understanding that we got to be engaged with this political climate. And as you see, like we got a boatload of trash here and dumping and a condemned bar and everything else. Like this is North Philly, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of this has a lot to do with us not being actively politically engaged, making sure that these elected officials are seeing to it that this stuff is removed, that this stuff is improved, you know what I'm saying? And the Bible says people perish for lack of knowledge. There's a lot of knowledge that hasn't been supplied, you know, to the people at large here. So for me, I take every bit of knowledge I got and I just try to keep coming back and I just continue to present that and give it back out. So
I believe that God is so much God that there's so many ways of appreciating that He is creator, that God is creator. And I think the genius of those flawed people who wrote this thing into our documents, they kind of made room. However you understand it, just understand that there's more to this thing than us. And that's how democracy works. And when we lose sight of that, this whole thing falls apart.